The 23rd of March sees us still out in the Drake Passage. Things have settled down a bit from last night. It was not too bad considering what the Drake can throw at you, but we were sliding back and forth in bed with the rocking of the ship. We're almost across. There is a sweepstake being run about when we see the first iceberg. Although it's foggy out, we have some snazzy radar on the ship, so we're not likely to do a Titanic thing. Not bad at all. If you lean on the rail, you don't have to hold on. I'm just sitting here in the bar in the lounge, had a cup of tea, kissed a woman. Definitely not as bad as it was, eh?
No.
Nuts. There are various lectures and workshops to keep us busy. Here's Valeria running a photography workshop.
I burn a little bit the picture on purpose. Snowy landscape lend themselves perfectly in black and white. Leopard seals.
Our first iceberg. I was having a pee when they announced it, so I was a bit late on deck to see it.
And as you can see, it's snowing quite heavily. I don't know how well the camera's picking up the snow.
We push on south. We're scheduled to be at our first destination tomorrow morning, a place called the Fish Islands. After dinner, we check our progress on the cabin screen, then hit the hay. Unfortunately, we don't have a bow camera. The next morning we've slowed down. I take a look out of our porthole. Land! Well, snow and ice. But we've arrived in Antarctica. I throw on some clothes and head up on deck. Cold and windy, who would have guessed, but here we are. It's stunning, but for some reason I didn't think it would be so frozen this far north. We're still outside the Antarctic Circle.
Forgot to bring my beanie up and getting an ice cream.
We're in Antarctica. It's minus 2 degrees or so. Quite windy, and hopefully the sound comes out okay with the microphones. Just trying to hold the camera steady against the wind. Heading up to the Fish Islands, where conditions permit. We'll have a bit of a Zodiac tour, but I'm just sort of a bit overwhelmed by all the ice and everything. Hadn't really expected this much. We bang and crash our way through the ice. So that's what the noise was when we were in bed last night. don't know if it's going to pick up, but there's some whales there. Right there. It's just amazing, all the play of light. Sorry, I can't hold the camera steady really in the wind. It's getting calmer and less windy as the captain finds a sheltered spot to launch the Zodiacs. Looks like they're getting ready to put the anchor down. It's a slick operation. No sooner than we are parked, they have a team out to check the conditions. The Zodiacs are unloaded in rapid succession and we get our call to board. We're not in teams for the Zodiacs since we can all go at once. I'm on the photography workshop Zodiac. Getting up to our first Zodiac trip. Off into the wild white yonder to see what wildlife we can harass. Joking actually. The crew are pretty careful to limit the number of boats in one spot and to monitor any wildlife for signs of stress. The boats are in pairs just in case there's any problems. It's not dangerous as long as you follow the protocol. The whole idea is to mosey around to see what wildlife we can find. Turns out that isn't hard. The crew already know where penguins hang out here, but we will see what else we can find. At times we have to deal with the sea ice. The Zodiacs push through it quite well. Within the first half hour I'm less concerned about the boat going pop. There is a real skill to it and Valeria, who is driving, knows her stuff.
¿Está por acá?
There are Adelie penguins on the island. Had my first tech problems here. Frozen camera, I think. See at the end of the video for an example. It looks a bit crowded, but each boat will cycle through and let the next boat to arrive get a closer look. First boat in is first out. You have to get used to the pop-ups, especially when you don't have a big camera. The Zodiac drivers do get a bit stern on occasions and ask people to sit down if they're hogging the view. We leave the penguins in peace and head off to see what else we can find. Angela, who I think is on another Zodiac, wants to see a leopard seal. I want to see orcas. a Weddell seal, I think it's a Weddell seal, in the usual WTF pose. They tend to check you out when you arrive and go back to sleep, or just stay asleep. I thought we might see 1 or 2 seals every other trip off the ship. Boy, was I wrong. There is a lot of wildlife in Antarctica.
Saskia, I'm going to squeeze in the front. So we just arrived, so I don't want to... Where are you going?
This is a group of crab-eater seals on an ice floe. Interesting factoid, they don't eat crabs, they eat krill. You're asked to speak quietly around the wildlife if you need to speak at all. As you can hear, people do as they are asked. We find some more Adelie penguins to bother. Some of these are moving by sliding along on their bellies, slackers.
In the normal video, try with the sports. This one, that stabilize the images. So which one? The sport that is running, the guy that is running. Oh. That one, that stabilize.
When there's no wildlife, there's the sea and ice scapes. I'm fascinated. I've never seen anything like this before.
Spectacular iceberg.
Hello, Sarah. Good afternoon. Hello, Sarah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Warren. Could we prepare a gangway? Zodiacs are going to start returning now. Is there an ice clear enough to have 2 gangways or just one?
We've been out for over 2 hours, so we start to head back to the ship. All eyes are peeled in case there's anything else to see. A lone whale.
It's a whale just here somewhere. Have I got it? He's just cruising along the surface.
selfie stick is kind of... Can you move your selfie stick a little higher? Thanks, that's perfect.
Where is it? It's a waiting game. Unlike what I'm used to seeing, they don't stay down for long, and we've been told they're often curious and will approach the Zodiac on its own.
Moving the water in here. Can you see the bubbles? That's it. Here.
Got all shine. Whoa.
That's closer than it looks. This wide view makes the whale look about twice as far away as it actually was.
Can we come back? I have to do my nails.
I'm hungry. That's pretty much everybody off the Zodiac. Back on board. If I was to estimate how long we were out, I would have said maybe an hour, but we were 3 hours out. They're going to hoist the boats back up on the ship now.
The boat shifts a short distance to allow for a second excursion. There was a show of hands to see who wanted to do a landing on the Antarctic mainland. My hand shot up so fast I nearly jiggered my shoulder. Two of my personal aims for this trip, to ensure it's a genuine Antarctic experience, is to cross the Antarctic Circle and to stand on the Antarctic Continent. Technically we're in West Antarctica, the smaller of the two land masses, but it'll do. Due to the ice cover on the land, the places where you can land are few. Prospect Point is a sliver of beach where there used to be an old British research station.
A couple of groups of people going off for their continental landing. It looks like it's not in the direction that I thought they were going. It's up there at the other end of the ship. It's a rocky spit that sticks out. I thought they'd go there, but evidently not. Actually got a bit of sunshine.
We got the VIP treatment, transported by Sarah, the expedition leader, since Angela wasn't able to make it on the first Zodiac cruise.
I wouldn't want to be on any other ship, I can tell you. She's perfectly fun for me. She's great enough.
So we're just doing a little drive around.
The review I saw about someone that had been on here and they complained that there was no nightlife and they reckoned the food was terrible. And I thought, well, I'm glad, because when we go on cruises we never go to the nightlife.
Okay, heading off to actually do a little bit of a cruise around and hopefully land on the mainland so I can say I've actually been on the Antarctic mainland.
If you want a particular picture and want me to slow down, see a seal has been lying on this piece of ice. It looks a beautiful recycled krill forest.
Genuine seal poo on this ice.
Wow. Well used piece of ice.
My cousin in the UK said on my Facebook post, you know, that recorded sheep and hopes I see a polar bear, and my sister replied, wrong geography.
Oh God. It's awful, but we actually get people on these trips that think they're going to see a polar bear. We're doing a bit like this trip, but even
There's a couple of the other boats coming back from their landing.
And that will have helicopters, so
It's just the two of us on this landing.
Fortilius will have helicopters, so a big part of our season.
It's sort of the last minute ones for old
It's all
people.
included in the price, but those trips are more expensive on the day rate. It's a premium, but it is an exceptional way to see Antarctica. It really gives you that perspective of how small.
I don't drink or smoke, so anyway, chat for the video. There's a little weather station and everything here. This is sort of the landing spot.
So the foundations of a little.
The Prospect Point hut is no longer here. It was removed in 2004 as it didn't meet the standards for a historical site, along with other buildings in Antarctica that were disused and didn't warrant historical site status either. The rocks on the beach are interesting. They're sharp, like they've been through a rock crusher. Even the areas of bedrock have broken up as if they've been subjected to an explosion. Evidently it's the action of the ice and freezing water. Okay, just went base over apex on the snow, so I'm back down on the rocky beach again. I will not try the snow until I have one of my sticks with me. But this is evidently an old British research station, just the stumps left. I'll go up and take a picture of the sign in a minute so I know what's what. And there's been some new scientific equipment installed here. Very beautiful location. As I was saying on the Insta360, this is actually the Antarctic mainland. And Prospect Point is where we are. There's the coordinates. While I've been rolling around in the snow, the ladies have been off in the Zodiac and found a leopard seal. They whisked me off to show it to me. Just trying to zoom in. She's a big lass.
She's enormous, actually.
Yeah. See which side she came up from. Yep.
These are big animals, especially the females. Not as big as an elephant seal, though. This one is about 3 metres long and several hundred kilograms. Oh, and very much a carnivore, feeding on other penguins and other seals as well. You just had a bit of a stretch. They never do anything when you've got the camera running.
She's been very obliging.
Aaron, Bridge, I read you very poorly.
So the Arctic party's out, we're heading back now.
Question, what time do you expect around Zodiac?
And that's the Ortelius park there.
Yeah, half past 6. Okay.
Thank you. I can't believe how time flies, actually.
Once back on board, we get underway again. We strip off a bit and head out on the deck for some pictures. Yes, that's a seal on the ice floe to Angela's left. Ah, she noticed it. Click, that's you on fine penguins, Chubster. We head out of the bay and south to tomorrow's adventure. We'll cross the Antarctic Circle around midnight. Yes, Sarah will make an announcement. So far, we've been across the Drake Passage and we're about 1,200 kilometres south of Ushuaia. Today we've just been at Fish Islands and Prospect Point. Tomorrow we're going to attempt the Gullet, a narrow passage between the islands to get to Porcoe Pass Island. If there's too much ice, we have to backtrack around the large Adelaide Island. That would throw off our immediate schedule. Then if the sky is clear and the aurora forecast looks good, Captain Purr will park us up to see where we can get a glimpse of the Aurora Australis. But as usual, that's for the next episode. See you then.
Are you seeing the water from fast they swim?
Is it odd for the missing one to drop it on the tube?
Yeah, this is not that common, but perhaps he's almost waterproof and he's just in the shallow part.
So why did they jump in and jump out?
Oh, just an interesting experiment for basically conspiracy theorists. I'm here in the Antarctic. Not very good with the camera angles. At a place called Fish Islands. And do you notice anything about my breath? I don't have a choo-choo breath. I do not have a choo-choo, clouds of condensation in my breath. I did earlier on when it was warmer, but temperature's dropped a bit now, and no foggy breath, which is like an interesting phenomenon.